Just getting set up here, guys. Good morning, everyone. Remember that the chat for all channels is over in the Discord. Until I can find a better way to do this, this is how we gotta do this. Okay. We are live on YouTube, Kick, Twitch, and TikTok. YouTube, Kick, Twitch, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, TikTok. Yeah, all 4 channels. All 4 channels. And our Discord is open for chat. Once I figure out a way to stream directly through Discord, that is what we will be doing. So, in the meantime, hang out, join me for class, and go get in the Discord. Go join the Discord. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, text it up. Text it up. Happy Monday, my friends. Hello, 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 and welcome to our Bhakti Bites classes. My name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being. And I am your shenanigans shaman, so don't expect to take yourself too seriously in here. These are our Bhakti Bites classes. Bhakti in Sanskrit means devotion. So devotion to what? Devotion to self-care. Because it's the last thing, usually the last thing on our to-do list, and the first thing that we drop off our to-do list when we get too busy. When in reality, self-care needs to be something that is woven throughout our day, throughout everything in our day. Just in the same way that you don't drink all of your water for the day in one sitting, or at least you're not supposed to, right? I've done it before. You're not supposed to. You don't do your self-care all compartmentalized into one moment. Now, if you can get an hour-long practice at the end of your day or at the beginning, that's amazing. That's beautiful. But the tools for self-care are the tools that we need in the moment. When something arises, when something stops us, when something redirects us, when a feeling comes up, when a memory or a feeling is triggered, right? In these moments, we need our self-care tools the most. The ability to be present with ourselves, the ability to be aware of what is happening within ourselves, and to determine what we have control over and what we don't. Right? How many times we get lost in the things that we don't have control over? Awareness. Awareness is the key to just about damn near everything. I'm like, key to self-love, key to self-discovery, key to deepening your relationship with your spiritual practice, key to, so many things, so many ways that mindfulness expands and deepens our experience. So these Bhakti Bites classes are our bite-sized sessions of self-care, where we practice mindfulness. We practice a tool. We've been working with mudras for months now because there are so many mudras and they are super accessible, right? All you need is hands. Sometimes only one hand. And then we practice that mudra with a brief meditation. So it's recommended that you hold mudras for a minimum of 5 minutes. In some cases, it's recommended to hold it longer. In some cases, there are contradictions to certain mudras. So just be aware of that fact. Modify for where you're at. If something starts to not feel good because you're holding a mudra for a while and maybe it's contraindicated, but you didn't realize it, release the mudra and just sit with the rest of the meditation. So we will meditate for about 5, maybe a couple more minutes than 5 today. So we hold our mudra for the minimum. You guys learn how to do the mudra. The mudra this week is the Makara mudra. And apologize for my Sanskrit if it's not perfect. I know, I apologize. I'm working on my pronunciation. If you know someone who can assist me with my pronunciation, I would so appreciate that. So the Makara mudra is the mudra for fertility. Spring equinox is coming up this week, right? The holiday of Ostara is happening this week. So I thought this was a perfect time, right? The coming of spring, the welcoming in, the heralding in of springtime. What a beautiful time where creation, fertility starts to manifest all around us, right? Birth, rebirth starts to manifest all around us, and we can see it showing up everywhere in the world. Sorry, friend, I don't go live with people I don't know. Send me a message about going live another time. Again, guys, the chat is in Discord. And once we'll get things streaming through Discord as well, but we are shifting away from primary interaction being on social media. And you guys know, those of you who've been around for a while, you guys know that the reason for that is because my content is being lagged, hidden, taken down, all that kind of stuff. So we're not even going to really interact on these platforms. If you want to interact, if you want to deep dive, if you want to learn these tools and integrate these tools into your practice, come join us in the CAYA community. That's on our Discord. The link for the CAYA community, Discord, is in my bio on TikTok. It is on my Patreon page, patreon.com/movewithchange. I am at Move with Change on pretty much all the social platforms, but you will get very little interaction with me. If you want to interact with this content, if you want to see the information in a deeper way rather than, I mean, I love these live classes, right? We love getting together for these classes, and I'm going to keep doing them because they hold me accountable and I really enjoy sharing them with you. But there's a whole lot more happening within the CAYA community and in the CAYA Sangha. So that aside, we're going to sit with our Makara mudra today. We're going to learn the Makara mudra. So Makara actually translates in Sanskrit to mythical sea creature. And I find this a really interesting, I'm going to do a little more research on this mudra this week to learn a little bit more of the backstory for this mudra. But how a mythical sea creature and fertility go hand in hand, I'm not sure. But I really love the fact that now I know the word for mythical sea creature in Sanskrit. And now you do too. Makara. So this mudra improves the kidneys. It's specific to the sacral chakra, right? The sacral chakra is our space of fertility. This is our bread basket, right? This is our umbilical cord to the universe. This is our space, for nurturing and fertility. So this mudra is meant to be held here at the sacral chakra. Remember, the sacral chakra is between the bottom of your belly button, between your belly button and your pubic bone. That's your sacral chakra here, represented by the color orange. So this also strengthens the kidneys, helps to relieve low back pain, and nourishes our vitality, increases energy reserves, right, that come from this area of nourishment. Many of us in the Western world have disconnections from our lower chakras and a lot of blockages in our lower chakras. So be mindful when you're practicing this mudra. Again, if it becomes too intense, check in with yourself. Rest if you need to. Come back to it when you're ready. Start with just 2 minutes if that's all that you can do. Work your way up to 5. If it keeps being too intense, let it go and choose another mudra, right? Okay, so this mudra is done by bringing the thumb and the ring finger together like so on the left hand. Then you bring the right hand to clasp the palm of the left. So you've got your fingers on the back of the hand, and the thumb, goes in this way, not on the side. Goes in this way. The thumb goes between the pinky and the ring finger here. Thumb goes here. The rest of the hand wraps around this side. I want to make sure you guys saw that. It's a little bit of a complicated mudra, so we're going to do it one more time. Left hand, bring your ring finger to touch your thumb. Remember, no more than the weight of a nickel. I'm not trying to squeeze anything here, right? This is just like an electrical circuit. All you need to do is touch, make contact, and the energy starts to flow, right? Okay. Left hand, ring finger and thumb together. Bring the thumb of the right hand in between the pinky and the ring finger. Bring it down to the palm and wrap the rest of the fingers around the hand. So your mudra should look like so. And then it is held right here in front of, right on the sacral chakra, just below the belly button. You can hold it at the belly button if that works for you, but try to keep it to the belly button or below. Resting it in your lap is fine too. Ideally, you want to hold it right on that point between the belly button and the pubic bone. Remember that all of these connections are no more than the weight of a nickel. Take a moment and sit with that. Observe that. Observe these connections and say to yourself, remind yourself, no more than the weight of a nickel. Take a moment to adjust your mudra to no more than the weight of a nickel. Just like an electrical circuit, all you need to do is make contact and the energy starts to flow. This is the Makara mudra, and we hold it here at the sacral chakra. Now you can let the other fingers stay extended, or you can have them kind of relaxed and drooping. It's up to you depending on how your hands rest in this mudra and how much awareness you are holding with the mudra. So for now, again, our meditation today is only 5 minutes. We're going to sit for 5, maybe 8, because sometimes I get a little bit soothed, a little bit lost in the meditation. So we're going to go ahead and begin our meditation with 3 deep breaths. Now, again, if you have somewhere to sit, great. Please join me seated with your eyes closed. If you are walking around or you're driving and it's not available to you to close your eyes, that's okay. Still hang out. I promise you, you'll catch this sweet, sweet vibe just by hanging out. If you can hold the mudra, fantastic. You will benefit from it. I guarantee it. So, go ahead. Every time I do this, I get the mudra and I hold it and I keep talking and then I start to kind of lull into the meditation. Okay, go ahead and close your eyes when you are ready. And we will begin our practice with 3 deep breaths to fully arrive in this space. Begin by inhaling through the nose, bringing the breath through the lungs and all the way into the belly. And sigh it out. Inhale again, lifting the heart and elongating the spine. Let it go. Inhale once more, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. Hold at the top. And slowly release. Now for just a second, I invite you to follow the breath. Follow the inhale all the way to the top. Follow the exhale all the way to the bottom. Gently elongating the breath with each inhale and exhale. slow, steady breaths, allowing the breath to anchor you into your practice. Remember that the most important part of meditation is your intention and your attention. Right now, the intention is simply to be with the breath. And we bring our attention back to that part of our practice again and again and again. Doesn't matter how many pimes your mind monkeys pipe up. Doesn't matter how loud your gremlins are up there. We bring our awareness back with love, with grace, with patience. We bring it back to our intention. Follow the breath. And rest your awareness gently on the sound of your inhale and exhale, or the feeling of your heart rising and falling on your breath. Inhale your intention to follow the breath. Exhale any tension in the breath, the body, or the being. You can return to the breath in just a moment. I'd like you for a second here to check in on your mudra. Sometimes we can kind of collapse into our mudra as we focus on the breath. So check in with your mudra and adjust if necessary so that all of these connections are no more than the weight of a nickel. No more than the weight of a nickel. Just like an electrical circuit, we make contact and the energy flows. We hold our mudra with intention. No tension, only intention. We sit upright in meditation with intention. Inhaling that intention. Exhaling any tension. Stay with the breath, or rest your awareness on your mudra. You may notice any number of sensations or distractions within or without, outside or inside of the body and the mind. Allow those distractions to rise and fall with your breath. Allow them to rise from your subconscious like bubbles releasing from underwater. They float up to your awareness and then go and disappear. Aligning breath and thought and heartbeat with the gentle ebb and flow of everything in creation. Stay here as long as you would like. I highly recommend it. If you have some extra time to sit here longer, please do so. When you feel complete, I invite you to bring your hands together into prayer, or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for this practice, in gratitude for this space, in gratitude for this body, in gratitude for this breath. And offer yourself a little gratitude for taking the time for self-care today. You are so worth it. And thank you so much for joining me. If you're still in meditation, stay there. Stay there. Don't leave. When you're ready to come out, please do so slowly. Offer yourself some wiggles and stretches. Only opening your eyes when you're really committed to coming back to reality. Again, my friends, this is the Makara Mudra. And for those of you wondering what the heck is going on, chat is over in Discord officially now. The Discord link is on my Patreon page, patreon.com/movewithchange. We are moving all of this stuff to the Discord so that the social media accounts can't take it down. So you guys can have free, unfettered access to these classes. The Makara Mudra. We're going to do it one more time. This is the mudra for fertility, okay? The mudra for fertility, because this is the week where we have the spring equinox, where we have Ostara. So the mudra for fertility is done like so. With your left hand, bring your ring finger down and your thumb in to connect. No more than the weight of a nickel. Bring your hand in and take the right hand, placing your thumb in between the pinky and the middle finger, bringing it down to the palm as you wrap the hand around, the right hand around the left. So inside should look about like this, backside like so. And this mudra is held at the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is located between the solar plexus, between the solar plexus and the root chakra. It's between the belly button and the pubic bone. It's represented by the color orange, and this is our space for fertility. This is our space of creation. This is our space for nurturing. This is our breadbasket, our umbilical cord to the universe. This is our chakra, our space for intimacy and sexuality. Yes, we have our root chakra, that pelvic floor, and that's more about grounding and safety and security. When we talk about intimacy and that kind of interaction, that moves up to the sacral chakra. So this mudra helps to relieve low back pain. This mudra, I'm only holding half the mudra. This mudra balances the kidneys. This mudra revitalizes our stores, restores our vitality, our stores of energy. And yes, increases fertility. No, okay, sorry, hold on. I'm not doing that educational purposes only crap. This is legit. These tools have been around for way longer than Western medicine has. They have an amazing track record for balancing, healing, clearing, protecting the energy body. And when we affect the energy body, we affect our other bodies too. Our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, right? Our bliss body. The physical body, in fact, is like a Karen, C-A-R-Y-N. Thank you, Apple Flare. C-A-R-Y-N, not the other, not the K Karen, the C Karen. It's a stack of stones, right? You see them all the time. It's a very like yoga zen thing now. You see the stack of stones. The top stone represents the physical body. When something is out of alignment in any other layer, the emotional body, the bliss body, the spiritual body, disconnected from your spirituality, busy thoughts in the mind, right? Recurring obsessive thoughts in the mind. A broken heart, right? These other things, all of these other things, dis-ease, disconnection, imbalance in other areas of our life. When you try to move any one of these lower stones, what is the first stone to wobble and fall ultimately? The top. This, my friends, is your check engine light. This, my friends, is your vehicle in this life. It is not the driver. It is not the captain. It is the steering wheel and the seat. And the rear view mirror. Jesus, the rear view mirror. It is so many things. But it is our vessel, not the captain. And so often we confuse the rear view mirror and the steering wheel with the captain. You would not go to the grocery store and let your vehicle drive. Not yet. I guess we're still working on, automated driving vehicles. But for now, I'll eat my words in like 15 years. But you don't let the vehicle drive because it does not know how to navigate. It does not understand the rules of the road. It does not understand the nature of driving or all the intricacies. The driver does. The captain does. The captain, the higher self, the wiser self, this higher place of knowing. This is where my maps are stored. This is where my charts and my compass, right? This is where my experience and my wisdom come from. Many of us experience our lives as if we are sitting in the back seat or even the passenger seat. Or we're sitting in the driver's seat, but the steering wheel is locked, right? How to drive our life, aka manifestation, is a hot topic. But something that it seems there's a bunch of different angles to come at it from, right? Everybody's got a different idea of how manifestation works. And I've tried a lot of them. You should have seen me some years ago trying in, manifestation from the perspective of if I do more, if I push harder, if I make my brain pop by focusing so hard on the things that I want. That's how I get them, right? But we learn in yogic philosophy, we learn when we dig deep into the nature of reality that pushing hard, pulling hard towards something actually creates tension between you and that thing. My brain just ran off with a bunch of other sayings like, if you love it, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours, right? These ideas that love is not love. Like, for example, we don't grasp love. We cannot keep love because love is fluid and flows through everything. And so to receive love, we must receive love. Be open to receiving love, not trying to grasp it and hold it and keep it static and stagnant, because it becomes static and stagnant and then is no longer love in its full expression. So to receive the gifts of the universe, the gifts of manifestation, most of what we do is simply receive. And that's really confusing when we live in a culture that says you're a human doing. Nothing gets done unless you do something about it. Your value is only what you produce outside of yourself, is only what we can see that you are doing. Doing. Yet in our doing, we often steer ourselves away from our purpose, from our desires, from our needs, from our truth. So how? How do I redirect my ship? How do I navigate myself? How do I reset my course toward my purpose, toward my dharma, toward what I really need and want in my life? One tiny step at a time. Manifestation is something that we often use to accomplish things we've never experienced before. For example, I have been using manifestation to cultivate abundance for years. How effective is it? It comes and goes, right? It comes and goes as I learn to fully embody abundance in my life. But part of the reason that it comes and goes is because I can't just jump from where I am now to fully embodying my abundance, because I honestly don't know what that feels like in my life. I don't know what that looks like in my life. I have ideas of it, yes, but it's like saying, you don't know that feeling of adrenaline until you feel adrenaline. You don't know the feeling of love until you feel it run through you. So how do I manifest something that I don't know what it feels like? I don't even know what it looks like. Like, yeah, I have an image outside of myself. But how is that reflected in everything that I see and do and have and am? I don't know. So every day, my practice is to say yes to things that feel aligned with that long-term goal. Just like we don't drink all of our water in one day, we take little sips of abundance where we can find them. And we follow those like breadcrumbs toward our abundance. If you run too fast, you're going to miss those breadcrumbs. But if we cultivate a sense of patience, a sense of trust, which patience requires trust, then we can watch, we can witness our cup, for me, abundance, being filled one grain at a time. And it becomes its own meditation, a walking, breathing, living, waking, conscious meditation, a manifestation of meditation, constantly, mindfulness, because that awareness that I am using to look for these kernels of abundance in my life. Remember, what you water grows. What you give your attention to flourishes. Your attention is like the sunshine on the garden, is like the rain soaking into the roots. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. So whatever you are attempting, whatever you are desiring to manifest in your life, if you've been thinking about it as some big thing that's just going to like show up on your doorstep, great. Keep envisioning that. Keep envisioning winning the lotto tomorrow. Keep envisioning that gift, that car showing up in your driveway, the house just being handed to you, right? Keep envisioning that. Absolutely. I'm not saying stop, because that's going to help, because that's still watering what you want. But in practice, I invite you to seek the tiny moments that reflect that far away thing, that long-term goal. Pebbles, grains of sand on the shore that is your destiny, right? Your dream, your desire. Hi, dog. So, this week we move into Ostara, we move into spring. The equinox is happening over the 20th and 21st. Our mudra this week is the mudra for fertility. This is the time for thinking about those concepts. What are you watering? What have you planted in your garden? What seeds have you sown? What harvest will you reap later this year or in 5-10 years? Are you planting things that will nourish you tomorrow? Or are you only planting things that will nourish you in 10 years? Time and space are relative, yes, but don't put all of your eggs in the 10-year basket. Nourish yourself every day with a little bit of that. Again, imagine them like breadcrumbs that are leading you to the full basket that you seek. Those breadcrumbs are there. And every time we say yes to something in the universe goes, oh, really? You like that? Okay, well, here's some more. Every time we say no to something in the universe goes, no, you don't? Okay, all right, well, let me give you something else. So if we have been saying yes to feelings of lack and fear and doubt, then the universe is going to bring those things to us. And we have to start saying no to them. And that's hard when we're so used to saying, I don't have. Look how much I lack. I'm afraid I'll never get. These are the repeat programs that get wired into our brain and wired into our body and become not just what we believe, but who we become, who we are, what we do. It manifests in our reality, in our physical body, in our emotional state, in our energy body, and in our reality around us. And therefore manifests in the people around us. It is so hard to get out of this idea, out from underneath this idea that I'm somehow not the one creating my reality. We've been sold this idea that we are not in control, that we are not powerful, that we don't have any sway to the universe, right? Sure, we have free will, but every inhale fills you with potential. And every exhale breathes your reality into life, into existence. Yeah, just like that. So with every inhale, I invite you today or tomorrow or any other day that it works for you. I invite you to take a day soon. A day where you maybe write it on your hand or wear a bracelet or something to remind yourself that every inhale says, I am love, abundant, safe, free, well. And every exhale, I give love, abundance, wellness. I invite you to take this practice with you, to experience the exchange, the constant exchange, to bring your awareness to the constant exchange that you are having with your reality. I receive love. I give love. I receive abundance. I am abundance. I give abundance. Bhakti Bites, these classes here, these are our bite-sized sessions of self-care. Because self-care needs to be bite-sized, needs to be accessible, needs to be right here in my pocket. Because that is how I bring it from, oh, I read something about that. Oh, I know how to recite that information. And turns it into, I understand what it means. I understand what it feels like. I understand how to dance with this. Quantum physics tells us time and space are relative. Relative to what? Well, relative to your awareness, honestly. Have you found yourself driving home and you got caught in thought, and before you know it, you arrived home and you missed how many miles? You ever had that sudden oh shit, I didn't even see the last 10 miles I was fucking driving. That's probably dangerous, right? Time and space changed. Because you were not in the present moment. You were off somewhere else, doing somewhere else. Use that to your advantage. Because the other way goes too. As an artist, right? Or a musician, or even a contractor, right? Somebody, the feeling of being in flow when you're doing something you love so much, hanging out with friends you enjoy so much, that brings you so much expansion. Your quality of time changes. Your experience of your environment changes. Your experience of your internal state changes. That's pretty fucking powerful. Awareness is the key to being able to make the changes that we would like to make, to being able to make the progress along our path. Awareness is the key to being able to receive the things that we seek in this life. Because if we are not aware of what is preventing us from receiving them, then we will just never receive them. If we are not aware of the ways that we are holding on to the things that are holding us down, then we will stay down. Unless we are lucky enough to be blessed with the universe just coming through and tornadoing our universe, you know what I mean? Okay, you didn't do the work yourself, so now I'm just gonna fucking destroy everything for you and you're gonna start over, okay? You know that feeling? You been there? Note that you may not have been paying attention. Attention. Awareness. Attention. Attention. The conscious mind creates a tension. A kind of surface tension that holds down the unconscious experience so that we can focus on our conscious reality, right? That is our attention. When I'm resting my attention on my conscious reality, it creates a kind of surface tension that holds my unconscious processes at bay, within, contained, compartmentalized. If I am also aware of what is happening within me, of that tension that is created, then I have the ability to change the nature of that tension. If I have my attention over here on my world, right? My inner and outer world, let's say I'm washing dishes. I'm I'm here doing dishes. I'm focusing on my reality. I'm using this tension to hold down whatever experiences that are happening underneath, but it doesn't always work forever, right? Some things just need, it's not that it doesn't work. No, some things just need to be released. Like a fart, like a belch. Sometimes it just needs to get out, right? Better out than in. So as I'm sitting there doing these dishes, suddenly a memory from 5 years ago of that time I was doing the dishes, and my partner at the time came up to me and told me that he'd been cheating on me our entire relationship. And my body and my mind and my heart respond to this sudden eruption of memory, somatic memory, emotional memory, mental memory. I start to sweat. I start to shake. My breathing changes because that experience is manifesting for me right here, right now. If I'm not aware of that, these things all start happening around me. And I may very well carry this new state of being influenced by 5 years ago into now, into the next 5 minutes, into the next conversation I have. God forbid it's with my son and he asks me something that's a little frustrating and I blow up. Why? Because I'm already on edge. I'm already on edge because of that unconscious thing that came up and manifested. That unconscious thing that just needed to be released. But if I'm not aware that it just needs to be released, then I tell myself a story about how my brain is attacking me, or how this person has done something terrible to me, or how I have millions of excuses to put the locus of control and the blame outside of myself. The truth is there's no blame at all to be laid. It is simply the nature of your composition. What goes down must come up. What we store and compartmentalize will remanifest everywhere in our reality. If you cultivate awareness of this process, let's revisit that. I'm doing my dishes again. Here's my surface tension. I'm awake. I'm busy. I'm thinking about the dishes, thinking about my son, listening to him talk to me, something else is going on. And for no apparent reason, that memory of 5 years ago comes up. And I feel it start to wash over me as I start to sweat and I start to shake and my breathing changes. And I can feel the tears in the corner of my eyes immediately. And I pause and I go, oh. I put down my dishes. I put my hand over my heart. The same heart that was in me in that moment when that was said. I put my hand on my belly, mostly because I find it comforting. And I take 3 deep breaths to make space for this feeling that needs to come up, for this memory, for this thing that needs to be released. I need to make some space because it's coming up, but it's coming up and it's pinging all over the walls, right? It's making a mess. So hold on. One, I breathe. 2, I relax. I release tension. The surface tension of the conscious busy mind, the tension in my body, the tension of that manifesting thought, emotion, feeling. On my 3rd breath, I fill my being with breath and I hold for a moment. I allow that breath to be like the spring wind and clear out anything that's ready to be released. And when I exhale, I allow that exhale to carry with it whatever of that feeling, whatever of that memory is no longer serving me. Does that mean I'll never have that memory again? Not always. But pebbles, grains of sand. If you're going to empty the ocean that is within some of us, that is within you, right? Sometimes it gets done in buckets. Sometimes it gets done in waves. Sometimes it gets done in tiny little droplets. And if we remember to do the tiny little droplet work, then we have fewer waves or tsunamis that come through and flatten our life. I'm speaking from experience. I used to wait until this stuff welled up so high and so deep that it fucking drowned me every time. It was chaos, destruction, total change of everything. I apologize, dog. I didn't mean to startle you. Now, each day, I find as many opportunities as I can, not by looking for them, but by waiting for them, by watching for them, by paying attention to what manifests through that tension. Relieving, releasing, whatever that is. Again, like bubbles coming out from a lake, right? Like bubbles of burps coming out to be released. We often think that our minds are attacking us. Our bodies are against us. I am a victim of my mind. I'm a victim of my past. I'm a victim of my trauma, and it fucking feels that way. I get you. I hear you. I know. I invite you to shift that perspective and see these things when they arise, not as attacks, but as requests. Please let me go. Please let me go. Set me free. Because those feelings, those memories, they will manifest again and again and again. As long as you hold them inside of you, they will push back. They will re-manifest. They will chatter away. Sometimes they become monsters. And those are the hardest things. Because they're big and they're scary. They feel dangerous. But how would you feel if someone had taken you and locked away your joy because it was too loud? How would you feel if someone locked away your curiosity and playfulness because it was too immature? We make these judgments and we decide to compartmentalize and push away parts of ourselves. If you were joy and someone put you in a box and told you to stay, would you not try to escape? Would you not seek your freedom? Of course you would. That's the nature of reality. Growth, expansion, rebirth, creation, love. And so those things that we have held back here for so long, the things that we've refused to look at, the things that we've refused to let out, they grow bigger and bigger. I figure on biggering and biggering and biggering within us until they become so loud that they're screaming at us. Sometimes it's just screaming in your head. Sometimes it's screaming out here in your life. And you go, why is there so much chaos? Why is there so much drama? Why can I not just do this thing or find this thing or figure out this thing? It's probably one of these things. Something you've tucked away somewhere. So I invite you to shift that perspective. When those troublesome thoughts, feelings, scary emotions, memories come up, I invite you to offer them release instead of attaching to them again and pulling them back down. Stop identifying with everything your mind monkeys talk about. Because this is the vehicle, not the driver, not your navigator. This is your check engine light, yeah. But it doesn't know where we're going. It doesn't know how to get through the twists and turns and ups and downs and tunnels and roadblocks. It just does what you tell it to some degree, right? We got to rewire things, right? Just like your car. You can't just tell it to do something. You actually have to work on the vehicle. And this is what we call self-work, or what I like to call internal excavation. Because this is my temple. This is my pirate ship. And I've got a whole crew on board that needs my love, my attention, my patience, that deserves my love, my attention, my patience, and my trust. Because if this vehicle, this meat suit is good for one thing, this crew is good for one thing, they're good for keeping you safe. And it might not feel that way, but I guarantee you that is the way that your body and mind are wired. Are to keep you safe. It is a matter of survival. It is like baser instincts of survival. We develop these tools and these skills not with some judgment of what is right or wrong. Simply, we develop what works. And when you're a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old, you don't have a lot of information for what works. So you just take what is available in your environment. You wire that in and you go, this is how I'm going to deal with anger. This is how I'm going to deal with not getting what I want. This is how I'm going to deal with fear. And when you're no longer a child and you can cultivate a sense of awareness of this is how I do things, then you truly become the navigator. Then you truly become the captain of your life. You are not and can't be. Literally, biologically, it's not possible for you to get to that place until at least your early 20s. And then, I still say it takes a lifetime. But I have come to understand it as the nature of being human, with a purpose. Because if I am ever going to come home to myself, to God, I have to leave home first. Bilbo Baggins can't return to the Shire unless he's left the Shire in the first place. I cannot know love without experiencing separation first. So it is by design that we experience our first separation from God, from the mother, from birth. And our entire childhood up until our early 20s, we are developing. are building this temple. We are building this structure. Again, for me, it's my pirate ship. I love the analogy. But we are building it unconsciously, and we're building it with the materials available to us. We are building it. You built all of this with the materials you had available. If you didn't have security, it would be really hard for you to use that as a building tool. So you might have to find it later on. You might have to re-examine what you built when you were young and say, ooh, that foundation was built on sand. No wonder everything I try to build on top of it sinks. I've spent so many years leaving my temple door open, my car door, my passenger door open, letting people come and go through my temple, through my home, into my vehicle. Even take the steering wheel, graffiti the walls, throw parties in here. It took me so long to recognize the sanctity of this inner temple. Not that I didn't know it here. You can know it here. But it will stay here in its little box, filed away, until you are able to pull it down and distill it into understanding. Distill it into practice. Are you going to get very good at the guitar if you practice once a month? Probably not. So if you're taking yourself on a date once a month and say, yeah, I'm doing self-care. I invite you to find a way to put just one drop at a time. Not a whole ocean of self-care, not a whole ocean of awareness, not a whole ocean of enlightenment, but one drop, one grain of sand at a time. Those breadcrumbs that lead you toward your destiny. And it begins with your awareness. It is that simple. It is that profound. And it is so fucking effective that social media doesn't want me teaching you guys how to do it. So, since that this information is being taken down, hidden, lagged, and kept from you, I have created a Discord space for our CAYA community. CAYA, C-A-Y-A, stands for Come As You Are, because your authenticity is the purest expression of your divinity. And that is your truth. You deserve a safe space to show up as you explore that truth. For those of us who have never been completely authentic, or maybe only in moments, or are learning about our authenticity, learning to meet ourselves authentically, you need a safe space to do that. That is the CAYA community. So I have a Patreon page, patreon.com/movewithchange. There you will find the free link to get to our CAYA community Discord. Totally free to join. And from here on out, all of our chats in our lives will be in Discord. I'm still working on the tech to get it all streamed properly, but if you know about Discord, please give me a hand. That said, we have our free CAYA courtyard. The CAYA courtyard surrounds the CAYA Sangha. The CAYA Sangha requires membership to get in. There are numerous levels of membership. I used to have 2. Now I have like 8 or something like that, so that you guys can get into the Sangha as deep as you really desire to do so. The goal here is to make it sustainable for you. We are cultivating community, not a, I don't know, not a gym. This isn't a gym membership. You will learn things, you will grow, you will develop, absolutely. You will bring yourself day by day closer to wholeness, absolutely, to health, to wellness, but in an integrated, whole person, whole life way. Because mindfulness is not something that we compartmentalize. Mindfulness is something that we cultivate in every single moment. So if you would like to join those deeper levels, the Sangha, the CAYA Sangha, you'll need to either go to the Patreon and sign up there, or once you join the Discord for free, there's a link within the Discord to go sign up as well. If you enjoy my free classes, I do free classes 4 times a week. Bhakti Bites Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And then we do Tiny Yoga on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Bhakti Bites are our bite-sized sessions of self-care. All the replays for all my classes are on YouTube. Please go follow me on YouTube. I'm trying to cultivate that channel so I can offer more there as well. It's one of the few channels that's not lagging my stuff, hiding my stuff. And Tiny Yoga is our 30-minute gentle chair flow. Gentle flow for every body and every space. So doesn't matter if you have a ton of room, a full asana practice, or if you are completely new in beginning and you feel completely confined within this itty-bitty living space, right? Any mobility, any space. That's what this yoga class was designed for. So that's on Friday at 10 a.m. Replays for all of these things are on YouTube. Please go follow me on YouTube. And if you would like to get into mindfulness deeper, even if you'd like to just kind of hang out as a looky-loo on the edge of the courtyard, come to the Discord. We have some really cool free things in there. Not only do we have just a chat and whatnot, we also have a 24/7 dance hall. We have what we call the CAYA cocoon, a safe space to show up if you need things like body doubling, or you need to sit for a meditation. We also have resources. I drop recipes in there. I drop more information about the mudras that we're using in Bhakti Bites. If you were receiving my weekly peeklies before, my astrology weekly peeklies, those now are only for members, and they are in the Discord. They are on my podcast. I also have meditations on a podcast. All of that information can be found on my Patreon page and in the Discord. Patreon.com/movewithchange. The Discord link is on my Patreon. And there on the Patreon, it explains every single level of the tier. It would take me a few minutes to go through all of the different things and outline them all, so it's better if you just go read them, right, for yourself. But I tried to make it sustainable. If there is any reason that you are having some, you'd really like to get into a certain level of the Sangha, but you can only do X amount per month, please reach out to me. I'm flexible with these things because I'd like everyone to be able to access what they need in this space, with it being, again, hey, thanks, Byron, with it being sustainable. I have put aside my one-off private coaching sessions. I no longer offer single coaching sessions, full coaching sessions, because of this. It is not much good use of my time, of our time, for you to come to me and spend an hour talking to me in March, and then in July, you come back and we talk about the exact same thing for an hour. I would rather us choose to work through something for X amount of sessions than to do one-off every couple of months and see you not make progress, or not make the kind of progress that you could if we simply made a commitment to work on it for a little while. So I no longer offer those single sessions, full sessions. However, I will probably always keep my coaching by donation open. My coaching by donation is my Seva project. It makes me feel really good to be able to offer it. It is only 15-minute sessions, but if you need to practice a mindfulness tool, if you need to vent about something, if you need to ask a very specific personal question, if you want some energy work, if you, whatever it is, if you want access to this fucking massive toolbox over here, think of like a Snap-on, the big red, like bunch. There's a whole bunch in there. If you want access to that, you can go to Coaching by Donation. It is available on my Patreon page. To purchase Coaching by Donation, you pay by donation. Okay, I think Patreon made me put a minimum, so I think it's like $3 or $3.33 or something like that. You can pay that, and then there's a tip jar as well. So if you would like to pay anything more, feel free. Again, that tip jar too, if you enjoy my free classes, I do appreciate any support. I do appreciate the tips. I ask people not to give too many of them through TikTok. TikTok takes a good portion of them. So if you'd like to really support me, I do have a Cash App. I've got PayPal. The link for the donation box is on my Patreon. That's my tip jar. But if you'd like to subscribe to a monthly level, I have all different levels from $5.55 a month to $444 a month for whatever depth of practice you are ready to dive into. And you can get this membership now, and then 6 months from now go, okay, I'm ready to upgrade. Or you get this one now and go, you know what, 6 months from now, I'm done with that part. I'm ready to do this one now. Okay? It's flexible because I want to make sure that you can get in this space and you can live in this space and you can continue and grow and thrive within this space. We have a lot to offer in the Sangha. I invite you all to join us on the Discord in the free CAYA courtyard and just come see what it's about. It's a new platform server, so I'm still learning the Discord, but it's a safe space for you to show up just as you are. I love you guys so much. I was just about to say bye and my music turned off. So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me for class. Again, patreon.com, move a change. Move a change pretty much in all the places. Discord, come join us there. And then weasel your way into the Sangha. All right. I feel like there are more announcements. Oh, I know. We have our Monday Sangha sessions. So if you are a Sangha steward level or above, then you get to join the Sangha sessions class. Our Sangha sessions class is a deep dive practice class with a rotating theme. So the practice class, the theme this week is fertility because we have Ostara coming up. We have the spring equinox. So today we're going to be practicing a pranayama practice, and we're going to be talking about fertility and about how that relates to mindfulness, to yoga, to self-improvement practices, and how to integrate these concepts into our reality. So it's an hour-long class. You've got to be a member you've got to be a Sangha member to get that. You have to have a monthly membership to get that. If you want to join in, that is at 1 o'clock Pacific time today. So here in a little bit. 1 o'clock Pacific time, and the Zoom link is on Discord in the Sangha, but you won't have access until you get that membership. So if you have any questions about any of this, if you want to debate any of this, if you want to offer any advice or Sanskrit pronunciation tips, thank you, please do. Reach out on any of the platforms, or go to my Patreon, join the Discord, and send me a message right in there. Okay. I love you guys so much. I will see my Sangha members in our Sangha sessions class, and I will see the rest of you Wednesday morning for Bhakti Bites. Remember that our mudra this week, again, was the Makara mudra. Okay, one last time. Replays are on YouTube in case you missed the meditation and want to go get the meditation or want to revisit the mudra. Okay, the Makara mudra is done like so. Left hand, bring your ring finger and thumb to touch, keeping the other fingers extended. Turn that hand over. Take your right hand. Bring your thumb between the pinky and the ring. It is really kind of a funky mudra. And then wrap your hand around the rest, your right hand around your left. So it should look like so and like so. Okay? And then you hold your Makara mudra here at your solar plexus. sacral chakra, below your belly button, just below your belly button, in your little bread basket. What is it called? Muffin top. That's right. Hold it on your muffin top. Scoop your muffin top up with your Makara Mudra. Always, always weave silliness into your mindfulness. Okay. I love you guys so much. I am going to go now. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see my Sangha members in the Sangha sessions, and I will see the rest of you on Wednesday, or I will see you in the Discord. Okay? I love you. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.